Hi, hello, and welcome. Today we will be talking about Chrono Odyssey, but not just the news or the things surrounding this game, but we will be talking about the 6 classes that are coming on launch. Now, mind you, there is a closed beta test coming next month in June of 2025 that will feature 3 of these classes, those classes being Swordmaster, Ranger, and Berserker. But do not worry, because we will be going over all of the things we know about each of these classes and the weapons that they have. So first, we will go down the list of the different classes. We'll talk about the weapons and kind of what I expect them to be like. So first off is my favorite class so far that has been shown off, and that is the Swordmaster. Now, I love swords. My channel is called Matt Black Knight. I'm MBK. So clearly, I'm gonna love the Swordmaster, Big Knight. That's gonna be the character I'm gonna rock if I do get into the closed beta test. It'll be the character I will play on launch of this game as well, unless something changes. But currently, I will be playing the Swordmaster. Now, the Swordmaster's 3 weapons are the Sword and Shield, the Great Sword, and the Dual Sword. Now, mind you, we'll have too much gameplay, and I'll show you as much gameplay as I can in the background here. But from what I'm gathered from the gameplay, this character will be a very, very fun class if you like swords. I mean, Sword and Shield is classic. It's tanky. You can block things with it. Maybe even parry with a shield. Then you have a Great Sword, I'm assuming, and from the looks of it, it'll be great at AoE and blocking frontal attacks. And then you'll have Dual Swords for a lot of AoE and fast-hitting abilities and clear. The next one will be Paladin. Now, the Paladin is probably our least known class, and we only have a couple seconds of gameplay here and there of the Paladin. But what we do know is that the Paladin has 2 shield weapons and then a polearm or a lance or just whatever you want to call it. I'm calling it a polearm. But the 3 weapons are a lance and a shield, a mace and a shield, or a pole arm. Those are the 3 weapons. So clearly the Paladin is supposed to be, I'm guessing, a really tank focused class, maybe even some healing, because clearly it's a Paladin, so I'm assuming it will have some type of healing with it. And now moving on to our first range class, which is the Ranger. Now, I love Rangers in games. I love Hell of Arrows. I love any bow class. In this game, they're stepping up a notch by allowing range characters in the gameplay you're seeing. They allow you to get headshots as a Ranger, which is really cool. And I think for a lot of people who like aiming, who like, those types of ranged classes, I think they're going to love the bow. For the Ranger, you have 3 weapons just like all the rest. And you have the bow, the crossbow, and the rapier. And I think this is the perfect the perfect weapons for a dexterity type of ranger character. I mean, you have the classic bow, you can't go wrong with it, really clean. But we'll see when the game releases. Now, next up is the assassin. Now, the assassin sadly won't be a part of the closed beta test. I'm kind of sad about that. I love the assassin classes. I love glass cannon, single target hitting characters. I always will. And this assassin seems to be, what you expect out of assassins, because their weapons are the wrist blades, a musket, and a saber. But I don't really see this being a saber, just like a plain sword. Like I think a lot of people are getting in their heads. It's like, oh, it's like the Swordmaster, like just what was one sword. No. This is a katana. By the way that they hold it and by the way they draw it out of the scabbard, you can clearly tell it's basically a katana, even if it's a different name, which is awesome. Don't get me wrong. I love me assassin with like a katana. That's cool. But it was really interesting to me to give the assassin a gun. Giving them a rifle or a musket in this case is a really interesting idea that I don't hate, because a musket is slow to fire but hard hitting in a single target, which is exactly what an assassin's identity is in a MMORPG. To the last range class of the 6 classes at the start of this game, which is the Sorcerer. Now, mind you, we don't actually know this character's 3rd weapon, but we can kind of guess and assume based off some clips, based off just some leaks from their Twitter account that they were doing to market the game. So the first 2 weapons for the Sorcerer is a staff, the classic. You can never go wrong with a staff. I'm sure they're going to look cool. And then the spell book. I'm trying to think about how these two weapons will play differently from each other. I can only assume the staff will probably be for more hard hitting or drawn out abilities, just like a lot of other MMORPGs like staffs, they wave them in the air. Or in one of these gameplay clips I will show you, the wizard or the sorcerer is clearly using an ice ability that goes around in a vortex and freezes all the enemies in front of her, but that's from a staff. And some other clips we see a spell book. Now I'm guessing with a spell book, this might be the more nimble of the classes, from the looks of it, from what the gameplay we've seen. And now the third one is rumored. Now mind you, this is unknown, so this could be wrong. But currently is rumored that the third weapon for the sorcerer will be an orb, or some type of mana crystal, mana sphere, whatever you want to call it, some type of orb weapon that they're going to, I'm guessing, is going to levitate in their hands or something. Very, very normal MMORPG sorcerer, especially if you play any Korean MMOs. They love doing that, like the type of floating orb thing that a lot of these sorcerers have. And now to the final one, the one that I actually thought I wouldn't like, but actually after watching gameplay and them showing it off more, I actually kind of started wanting to play it more, which is the Berserker. Everyone knows the Berserker. They showed off a character within the developer interview. Just this big guy. Of course, the classes are not gender locked, but in the case of the gameplay they showed a really big guy, clearly really stout, very, very high fantasy. And the Berserker's weapons are great axe, dual axes, or chain blades. And mind you, the last one, chain blades, got my excitement up so high. I love Kratos in God of War, and that just sounds exactly like his chain blades, and I'm so excited to see how that goes feel in a game like this. But those are the 6 classes coming at the launch of Chrono Odyssey. I'm really curious to hear you guys' opinions about it. Do you guys like these classes? Do you think there's too few range classes, or do you think there's a good mix between all of them, since certain melee classes do have ranged options? Well, I just want to say thank you for stopping by. I hope you learned something from this video, and if you're not, that's okay too. Just leave a comment, tell me what I can do better if you think I can. If you want to hear anything else, let me know. I would love to make a video about recommendations or anything else you guys have. I just say thank you for stopping by and have a wonderful day. Peace out.